be very candid. Candid.
Can do.
All right. Well, welcome to the podcast of the Deep Fry Wizard.
Yes.
I'm Wes, and what's your name there, baby girl?
My name is Indigo Montoya.
Oh crud! I killed your father. I am not prepared to die.
Six-fingered man.
What a great movie!
Yeah.
Remember we watch it like every Halloween.
Yeah.
Remember that when we were little kids?
Yeah.
We'd go trick or treating with my parents' small groups families.
Is that who that was?
Yeah, we go. I think it was a Shanta's
seen it.
house.
Yeah.
And we get back, and the moms, because the dads would take us out, but like we were at the age where you and I would go off on our own, but they would take the younger kids out. You and I would just run ahead and be like, we don't want to be the little kids. We're teenagers.
Right.
But we're probably like maybe 12, 10,
Probably,
10 to
yeah.
12. This was a time when you could actually let your kids go out on their own.
No, not the hearing back like, what were my parents thinking?
Yeah, we were not, I think the youngest we were was probably 9 when we went out on our own.
They
9 or 10.
They probably just were like, those kids are too much of a handful.
They're too
unkidnappable.
They're too ugly to get kidnapped. And
Yeah.
they're like, even the pedos like, ugh.
Yeah.
They're in the windowless
That's
van.
too much work.
And the vans with the free candy on the side, the drive like, ugh, those kids are gross. I don't want
Pass.
that one. Swipe left.
Yeah.
So, no.
What were we
I don't know
talking
where we're going with that. That was total. My brain went like,
Bouncy bouncy. Oh, yeah. No, my name's Christian.
There we go. We're full circle. This is
Oh.
Deep Fry Wizard podcast where
Yeah.
stupid stuff happens. For those who actually watch our videos, hopefully at the end, just want to let you know, like, we're doing pick of the week.
If you
So-
want some good reads.
Yes, please. I mean, if they're inappropriate or whatnot, sorry in advance to parents if they read them. I'm just do your work. Be a parent. Do your job. Okay. With that being said, we will always try to give reads that we enjoy. Like, I believe my first one was The Weapon X, that by Barry Windsor Smith. The storyline of how Wolverine had the adamantium laced to a skeleton. You had Underwater Welder by
Jeff Lemire.
yeah. Every time you say it, I go, like I know it, and then
Also the writer of Sweet Tooth.
yes. But which is better, Sweet Tooth or Underwater Welder? Which one do you prefer?
I mean, Sweet Tooth has it's just a whole thing. It's kind of like apples to oranges, but Underwater Welder as a story of its own is really good. And I picked that out at a time where I was first becoming a parent, and most of the stories about him kind of like coping with the loss of his dad, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, spoilers.
I need to reread that. Well, that's like I think they tell you that on the back page. So, but yeah, that's good. Good read. Go check it out. It's very like good fall read. So
Why is that?
I don't know. I think it's just set. The setting is kind of like this dreary
Ooh, I like it.
Maine coastal. I think it's Maine. I forget.
Is it set during like fall time?
I think so. Yeah, it's kind of like that old like. I'm trying to think like what's that? Gilmore Girls. Like that.
Stars Hollow.
Yeah, but like a rundown version of that
Oh, I am
is the town.
so sad. I know what the town is called, but not really, because that's a really good show.
Yeah.
Oh, with pick of the week as well, we could do comic books, movies, whatnot. For me, my pick of the week to you, watch The Lighthouse.
Oh,
on
is that
Max.
with
William
Dafoe?
Willem Dafoe and Robert Pattinson.
I think
Dude,
I did start that.
It
a
was
while
really good.
ago.
My sister told me to watch it, and I'm like, oh, no. Because I'm not a big movie dude. Like, I
Yeah.
had the movies I like Braveheart, still number one. Number one movie in my book is Braveheart. Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein, solid number 2.
Mhm.
Solid number 2. That was unintentional. I
Yikes.
made one this morning. A lot of fiber. But I suggest it. I think it's got that ancient god H.P. Lovecraft kind of vibe to it, and it's Studio A24. Is that what they're called? Or
Oh, I thought you were talking about Abbott and Costello.
Oh,
stuff.
no,
I was
no, no.
like, huh?
No, sorry.
I don't
Back
remember
to
this.
ADD brain. Back to The Lighthouse. It's got that ancient god, space elders. Like vibe to it that H.P. Lovecraft always pours into his stuff of like the madness within and the brain twisting and whatnot. It was really good.
Mhm.
And all black and white
Yeah.
if you could handle that. I know some people are like it's not in color. It's like it's
Oh,
it's Studio A24. Is that they're called?
I think so. That does those weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This one they even did Tusk.
Did you read the one? I forget the name. Oh, they did Tusk.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Did you read that book? I don't know if I gave it to you or not. It was there's like a red hand on the cover.
No.
Oh, I forget the name of it.
Did it say we know?
Huh?
Did it say we know on it? Hail Sithis.
Oh no,
Hail Sithis.
no.
And the Dark Lady.
Yeah. Well, that's also
The Night Mother.
I'm gonna have to find that name of that.
Well, what's it about?
It's about like this guy who has to go to a lighthouse as well, but he discovers like there's like this crazy old lady on the island.
So my ex,
If she's an old lady.
she was.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I have to censor myself right there. Sorry.
Yeah, no, it's a good book. I'll have to find the name of it though, and maybe that'll be my pick of the week.
Okay.
Anyways.
Let me know what it is,
Yeah.
and I will plop it in there. But for me, The Lighthouse is only to you. I mean, if viewers want to watch it, I'd suggest it. It's I believe rated R, so forewarning.
Arr.
I liked it. I postponed a lot, but one day I was like, "Hey, I hear it's kind of a spooky film." I believe I was watching a Pop Meat video or no, what's one he does with his buddy Wendigo?
Vin Diesel.
I can't remember what it's called. It's a podcast that Papa Meat does with a dude called Wendigo. The Creep Show podcast. That's what it's called. Pretty good.
Oh,
And
I've heard of that.
yeah, and they're going through good Halloween films to watch, and they had The Lighthouse. I'm like, oh, my sister's been telling me to watch that, so I'll watch it. I enjoyed it. Really good. And I like how I don't see Robert Pattinson as what's the dude's name? Edward
Right.
anymore. Killed it as Batman, in my opinion. Did a good job.
Mm.
But I mean, we want to get back into world building, or
Well,
do you
yeah,
have
but
something
you
else?
had mentioned some sort of Brian Johnson-esque story. You
Oh
wanted
yes, my
to
Brian.
share.
For the listeners, Brian Johnson is a guy on another podcast I listen to. Another podcast I listen to. I've been listening to it for since I was in high school. Also, not really. Definitely for an audience who like more of the retro stuff and whatnot. I don't
It's
think
a Gen X podcast.
Gen X, but we grew up in a lot in Gen X stuff. We are millennials, but we grew. I feel because we have older siblings and older cousins, so we can relate that stuff. Like they talk about the $6 Million Man. They talk about Little House on the Prairie. They talk about comic books that you and I have read from the 70s and 80s.
Right.
But Brian Johnson is my spirit animal, I feel. He definitely is. I'm like him to some degree. A little bit of a hothead on occasion when it calls for it, but I'm taking a walk. I believe I was walking to my local pub that I like to go to. And I was walking there, and it was after school hours, so the bus is driving by me. I'm like, oh, because I live near a school. So this school bus drives by and dropping the kids off. I'm crossing the street, and what happens when a bus stops and the sign comes out that says stop and you're driving? What do?
You should stop.
You should stop. So I see a kid get off the bus, and she's walking in front of the bus to cross the street to her house, and this car comes up. I yell at the girl. I don't know who she is. I just go, like, stop! Just yell, and the little girl, she freaks out, and she jumps back car, vroom, and I jump in the middle of the road, put my hand out, and they come to a stop. They honk at me, and I lost my temper a bit. I did punch the hood of the car. My blood pressure went from like 0 to 200. I could hear my heart because I was more scared for the little girl. I could hear my heartbeat in my ears and
Right.
I felt my
Adrenaline.
eyes were gonna pop out of my head. I was angry, and a kid gets down and goes, "What the beep, bro?" And he gets in my face, and he comes up to like my nose, and he's just got Napoleon complex. He can't, he's kind of like soaking wet. He's 100 pounds, and he's like, he wants to fight me. He's like, let's go, bro, let's go. And I'm assuming his girlfriend's in the car. I look at her, I look at him, and I see, first of all, the weirdest thing, all these kids in the bus still, they're pulling out their cell phones. I'm like, how old are you kids? I'm like, why do you have cell phones?
Right.
I'm like, put the phones away,
I
kiddos.
think it's more.
It's a
Yeah.
culture thing now. Like, something happens, like, yeah, whip out your phone. Like, oh, someone fell on the train track. Don't help them. Pull your phone and watch them get run over.
Right.
But I just tell the kid, like, kid, you can tell I'm very angry right now. Look at you and look at me. Do you think you're gonna win this fight? And then at that point, I was not having it. Like, if it was gonna go down to blows, I was gonna take that kid and bend him like paper, fold him like paper.
Right.
I'll be like Bane to his Batman right there. I'll break the bat. Little nerd reference for you. If you know, you know. But I was shaking. Like, my hand when a kid got in the car and just gave me the finger and drove away. I did the Ross and Rachel from Friends. I did the whole. They go. I just did that too. I'm like, yeah, that'll show him.
Right.
You are the one who's bad.
I think he went home and rethought his entire life.
I think in the moment he realized that he screwed up,
Yeah.
but I only hope that he stopped long enough for the bus driver to take down his license plate. Because I remember being a kid and the same thing kind of happened. And the bus driver got his license plate and
Yeah.
reported him.
Hmm.
So I'm only hoping that me stopping him, because they were still in eye distance where the bus driver could see his license plate. I'm just hoping. I couldn't really see that well. My eyes were full of red rage, but it looked to me that I was a woman driving it. So I'm hoping she got the number. But
Okay.
that was my Brian Johnson moment, because he did the same thing one time for his daughter Sage.
Right.
He's got a niece who's basically his daughter now with Down syndrome, and she was being dropped off at the bus, and someone kept doing that to when he was dropping off his daughter, and someone kept doing it over and over again, that he actually, I believe he punched the car too, and he had a ring and he left a dent in the car. No, I didn't leave a dent. I more hurt my hand than anything. So when I got to the local pub, I just took my hand against a cold
Ow.
water, a glass of water, held my hand like this, like, ow, ow, ow. I hope I didn't break it. Because I lost it.
Hmm.
Because that just irritates me. Like, you're so important. You're more
Oh, I
important than
know.
kids getting off the bus. You can't wait for more than maybe 2 minutes.
Yeah. People
Just no.
People drive me crazy.
I get it if you miss it. One time you miss it, but they weren't. They just blew right through, because the stop sign's out for a while, and
Yeah.
they like kept on going. Didn't care.
Yeah. No.
So-
The older I get, the less tolerance I have for bad drivers.
I think I'm that way too, especially when it comes to kids. Like, I like this is my inner, like, I want to be Superman or Batman.
Right.
I want to be the hero and like protect people. So when I see that happening, no,
Like,
homie, don't play that game.
on my street, we have like one side. It's a small street.
You got a small street, yeah.
It's like one side's parking, and then you have like barely enough room. Most people stop and let one car go through.
Oh yeah, I've had to deal with that driving your house a few times. Yeah,
But people, like, some people just will. It's like, I think it's 25 miles an hour. It should be like 15, but
yeah, it definitely should be less than that because of how tight it is too.
there's people that go like 40 or 50 down it.
Yeah, I remember you and I were having a cigar. Well, you were having a pipe. I was having a cigar, and then that just boom, and you're like slow down
Yeah, people just do not care.
because you got kids.
There's tons of kids. There's like, I mean,
I don't care about those kids. I care about your kids.
Right.
Those kids can be speed bumps for all I care.
Right.
I'm kidding.
No, but like, it's just, yeah. I get more curmudgeonly as the days pass.
Same thing in my area. Like,
Yeah.
I got kids that play basketball in the street. Good kids. I mean, very, very polite. One called me sir. I'm like, you don't need to call me sir. No, he called me Mr. Hanson. I'm like, you can just call me Wes, bud. And he's like, same thing happened to me in the past. Same kind of words were said. He goes, oh, my parents make me call old people by their last names. I'm like, oh.
Ouch.
But
I know.
I am Mr. Hanson. I had a rough start with these kids. I lost. They kept leaving footballs and basketballs in my yard, and I had a moment where I drop kicked the soccer ball back to their house. I'm like, keep your crap in your yard. So they were scaring me for a while until I think it was Halloween night one time. I gave them a bunch of junk food and candy, and I'm like,
Right.
I'm like, sorry, kids, I felt
I'm
bad.
not
So
as scary as.
yeah, I'm like, I feel
I'm
so
just bipolar.
I was just having it was when I was dating my ex at that time. I was going through some really rough stuff. So I felt really bad. I apologized to these kids. I'm like, here, I gave them like Mountain Dew, and one kid I gave a bag of Doritos to. I'm like, I'm sorry. And they're like, oh, well, you're cool. I'm like,
Here's a samurai sword.
here's my life savings. You want a cat? I got 20 of them. Not that one. That one's mine. But no, I totally get that. Like, I want speed bumps in my area. Like I'm surprised you don't have speed bumps in your area because you live in
know,
the city.
Yeah. Yeah. No. That's too much for the city.
Bleeping that out.
What?
Where you live.
Oh, I don't think they'll find me. I don't think they'll find me.
I'm talking about the government.
It's gonna be a challenge to the internet.
Yeah, all like one person's looking like, once I found him,
Yeah,
I'm
it's,
going to get you. It's the one psychotic person who is a homicidal maniac. But
He sounds so happy.
well, he does sound German, and
Oh.
they're the people of
Yeah,
tolerance.
we just lost our European listenership.
It's our one European listener actually
Yeah.
is German. It's like, Guten Tag,
Yeah.
not going to happen. But we
Yeah.
talked about, should we dive into like the world building again? Because I kind of like doing that. Like,
Yeah, no,
was
that's fun. Yeah, I forget where we left off already.
it was like a week ago.
2.
I don't know. Dude, I barely remember what
You
happened
keep
this
track
morning.
of time.
So I would say we talked about the underwater city of vampire fish people, and we steered away from the traditional superhero world and made more of a. I feel like it's kind of like I said last time, like Elder Scrolls meets Fallout, but with a splash of like Adventure Time apocalypse.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's more of like like cartoonish whimsical, but it's got like that little bit of whimsy, like maybe pulling a little Guillermo del Toro
Yeah.
in there. Like I love his movies.
I almost want it to be like a callback to our childhood too. Like I feel like it'd be kind of fun to have it whatever Fallout happened during the 90s.
Oh, it'd be cool.
'Cause you could have like Blockbuster and Chuck E. Cheese, just like throwing a
It's
bunch of
it's canon. It happened.
90s references.
Netflix wasn't around. We still had dial up.
Yeah.
You couldn't. The smartphones. I mean, we outdate the smartphones even before we were at a high school when the first smartphone came out.
Right.
We were at a high school. So yeah, I like that. Like maybe they're camping at night, traveling,
Yeah.
and they camp down in a old Radio Shack,
Right.
which actually no Radio Shack. I think there's a few still in business.
Is there?
So
Can't reference that. It'd be like Radio Hut or something.
Yeah.
You
Like,
could easily like
The classic Pizza Hut when they had like good pizza,
Mm.
like the one by my place. I remember back in the day that was like the best Pizza Hut because they had the old trays that had all the old grease on it,
Right.
and then they got rid of them. And it's like you lost your flavor.
Yeah, where'd your flavor go?
You got no flavor, boy. Flavor
Yeah.
Flav. That's my impression of Flavor Flav.
Flav. We could have a character that has a clock on his chest.
They call him Mr. Clock.
That would actually be kind of funny to have like
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'll say my idea. You go first.
have like like how they did in The Walking Dead with who's the football player guy?
Oh, in the comic book, it's Tyrese.
Tyrese. Yeah, have like a
In the show, I don't think he had any
I don't-
real.
yeah, I don't think so either.
I like because he was like Rick's right hand man in the book. I like Tyrese the comic book more than a TV show. Tyrese, they didn't develop him good enough in a TV show.
I didn't even realize he was in the show.
Yeah.
I haven't watched that far through, but
It's Tyrese. Yeah, it's Tyrese. He had the you were talking about the same guy that had the hammer, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
His daughter and the
Yeah,
one dude.
but they do the unaliving pack,
Yeah.
and then but he doesn't. That's right, he doesn't follow through, and then Tyrese just chokes the boy out.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Those books were so dark.
I love them all.
I mean, yeah, they were.
All right here.
I think they did a good job of portraying what would actually happen if there
Yeah.
was a
Because they focus more on the people than the actual apocalypse and the
just
zombies.
zombie murder, zombie killing.
But
unaliving.
you're saying you want a guy like Tyrese?
Yeah, or like someone that was like a celebrity or like a like a big.
Oh, they do kind of
Yeah.
they do actually kind of do that in The Walking Dead again. Because he a NFL player or was he a college player?
I think he was an NFL player.
Because they have another character. Because they don't do that in the TV show. They don't say he's an NFL player. But I know we haven't gotten that far in the book, but the book and the show kind of follow the same premise. They had the Whisper Wars. The Whisperers are the ones that were the faces of the dead to blend in, and they smell like them. So, or I'm assuming they smell like them, but the walkers don't notice them.
Right.
But there's one in the book. I think he's called Beta or Alpha. Yeah, no, he's Beta. Alpha is the bald woman who shaves her head. Beta is her like right hand man. He's tall. In the book, I think he was a baseball, major league baseball player.
Okay, yeah.
But in the TV show, he was a country star, a country singer.
Okay, yeah.
So I kind of like that. Like maybe he, like how far did the apocalypse, like the world end compared to? Because I do like the idea of like Bishop being pretty old. Like maybe he's an elf who existed before the fallout happened. Like he was in the background, and now it all happened. He just kind of okay, I'm here. Because I like
Right.
older characters. So, but I do like the idea of having it like an NFL player.
Yeah,
Or-
like I like it because I liked it when
How
they
about an
did it in
influencer?
Sweet Tooth. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, that's right. He was a hockey player. In
Yeah, he played for the Canadian team.
the Toronto Maple Leafs.
I think so. But which I was so bummed when he was an NFL player or whatever. In the show.
Yeah,
I was like,
in the show-
man,
It's like just
that ruins the lore. I don't know why they did that.
to me, it seemed a little weird. Like, sure, they cast a black guy. Like, why can't he still be a hockey player?
right?
I feel like they're
Racism.
I do feel like they're kind of being slightly racist toward him. Like, yeah, there are black hockey players. I
Right.
hate to break it to you, there, Netflix. It happens. Don't be a bigot,
Yeah.
Netflix. I'm probably gonna have to bleep half of that because Netflix will probably come after us. They've got people in high places.
Right. They're watching us.
But no, I was disappointed. Like, why? Because I like hockey. I actually like hockey a little bit more than football. Because in our era, we had the Griffins that we can go see.
Right.
So it's get more into. They had the Rampage. Remember that for a minute? The GR Rampage.
Yeah, that was hockey?
No, that was football. They had a
I
rhino. They had a
was gonna say-
rhino for their logo.
Oh yeah.
That didn't last very long.
No.
I wish it lasted, but kind of cool to go to like a football game.
yeah. I
But-
don't even know whether I don't know where they would.
They
I guess
did
they
it
would play-
in Van Andel.
They did in Van Andel.
Yeah.
Yeah. That makes sense.
So we want a character like what's his backstory or her backstory? What kind of background, like profession, were they doing?
I don't know. It'd be kind of cool, like either like a heavy metal, like
He uses an axe.
yeah,
This is
like a
action.
heavy metal drummer or something, or heavy metal guitarist or or bassist. I don't know, something obscure. But
Like I'm picturing like Lars from Metallica. Like he's the character and he's holding his drumsticks, and he like stabs people with them, whatnot.
right. Yeah, not. Yeah, or you could actually do like a whole band. You could do like a whole band as like a. They had to form a pack to survive or something. I don't know. But,
'Cause I did think about like creating like our own X-Men team at some point. Like I always thought of the Hexens, like characters who are born with their abilities, but they're more of the supernatural type.
right.
Like, I would like to tease that, but I think we're gonna talk about the villain this episode, if I'm correct. We got to build the villain.
Build the villain.
Like, are we
yes.
doing? Like, how do we see our world going down? Like, is it like Lord of the Rings? Like, there's one big bad guy they got to take down, or they're gonna be like bad guys here and there. What are we thinking?
Yeah, that's the thing with villains. Is like, do you have a whole organization of evil people, or do you have like one main dude, or few main dudes that form some sort of evil brotherhood or something?
Like the like how the Super Friends had their own like evil. What are they called? The villains, the League of Villains, or something like that. And they old Hanna-Barbera cartoon. They come up in the swamp. Remember that?
sounds somewhat familiar.
I'll probably voice over myself. Toy Slaughter now. But I haven't seen that show since the 90s, so it's
Right.
been a minute. I know they have it on Max. I could probably find it there.
I'm almost thinking like because obviously the the water civilization is probably the one most thriving civilization on Earth at this point.
Yeah.
So I would think that someone somehow sabotaging that would be the evil villain.
Maybe Skyne has to leave his society to find, like, in the first Fallout game, you play the Vault Dweller, has to lead the vault. I think it was the first one. Could be the second or third. You have to lead the vault. No, it's either the first or second, not the third. You have to lead the vault to find a part that you have to put back in the vault because the vault's falling apart. You have to lead the vault to find that one part to save your people. Maybe Skyne has to leave his society to go find something,
Right.
bring it back to help his people.
That's what I'm thinking, like, because of his defect or whatever.
He's the one who could survive outside.
So, and maybe he finds or befriends the villain. I always like the idea of a good betrayal.
Oh, definitely. Because
So,
you
like,
want to like that character,
yeah,
and then see like what? Like,
yeah, this switch flips, and you're like, I didn't see that coming.
because what I like in our old D&D campaign, I wanted you to kill my character, or at least kill him, and then I would bring in a new character, but I want that character to betray the rest of the group, but have the guys like him, have him be like really charismatic. Yeah, he's a cool dude,
Right.
everyone likes him, but then they get captured, and then they find my character in prison who's been held by this guy for all this time.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I like that. I like that idea of betrayal. So, what would this villain? Would he be a human? Would he be not human? Because I'm picturing maybe.
I'm thinking human.
I'm thinking human, but maybe kind of like he's falling apart. Like maybe he's put himself back together, like a cyborgish kind of thing.
Yeah. I mean, it could be one of the humans who discovered like the magical rift or whatever.
Okay.
And that, like, maybe he gained some powers, but also it's like killing him or something.
What if the magical rift? What if it's our world and another world colliding? Like, this society has been around for millennia,
Sure.
and it's the streams
Or
coming together and they're colliding. Then that's where it comes from. This rift, like it's a hole in the time
dimensional.
stream. Yeah, and that's maybe Bishop came from there. So he lived in his world all the time. Then he got pulled into this world. So he's on a learning curve for this world. So you're
Right.
seeing elements of the whimsical, like in Elder Scrolls Morrowind, you have the mushroom trees. Like maybe there's things like that, like areas of America or Canada that have been changed into totally different landscapes and more whimsical. Or,
Right.
I mean, just an idea.
Yeah, no, I like that. So
Sorry.
how do you feel about Bishop being like an outcast from
Oh, I definitely like that idea.
from that world, like he's banished or
Yeah.
somehow, or
He's a screw up. He's I pictured like he fell in love with a woman who is not of their own species. Maybe she was like, he's an elf, but she was a dark elf, and like, oh, we can't have interbreeding of different species or different.
right, they're
like,
purists.
Yeah,
or,
like y'all a bunch of racists.
yeah.
But I like the idea of him losing her. Like he'll never be able to see her again.
Hmm.
Like maybe she's stuck in that world.
Or that's his motivation to.
Exactly. Like your
Yeah.
motivations, you have to find the part to fix your city. His motivation is to get back to his wife.
Hmm.
But because I do like the idea of stories actually ending.
Yeah, for sure.
I like the idea. Like, hey, we have a beginning, middle, and end.
right.
Like Hellboy, we always mention Hellboy. Invincible is another book that has a beginning, middle, and end. What's another one? The Walking Dead, beginning, middle, and end. I got more up there.
Sonic Adventure Battle 2.
Yeah, beginning, middle, and end.
That.
Sorry.
Did I yell too loud?
Oh,
Can you hear me?
There we go. Wait, no. My thing got unplugged.
Hello?
Right at the moment you said that.
That.
I don't know how that happened. That was weird.
I actually like. Do you remember Sonic Adventure Battle 2 with the Chows, but like the ending of it?
Dude. Come on.
Yeah. But it.
How? Wait, no, I did it. No, I'm actually blanking on it now that you say that.
I think Shadow.
Who's who's played by Keanu Reeves now in the movie.
Right, that'll be interesting.
That's
I
good.
actually have enjoyed those movies. Not gonna lie,
I haven't seen them. Are they actually good? Would I enjoy-
decent. They're
you
not,
have you got kids, so you get to
Yeah.
watch it.
They're entertaining. I've liked them, and also being a '90s kid, like
Yeah. I mean, okay, so explain it to the listeners and to refresh my memory because I'm actually blanking on it
Sonic
right now.
Adventure Battle 2, Shadows, like this experiment the entire time.
Yeah. Dr.
Um,
Eggman's experiment? No, not Eggman.
I forget.
It was an
I think
Eggman.
was like government.
Yeah.
Something or other. I have to replay this, but anyways, at the very end,
That should be your playthrough. You should play that for our
right.
playthrough.
The very end, he kind of sacrifices himself last minute.
He goes up into the sky, if I remember correctly?
I think so.
And he does a lot of spinning.
Yeah, but there's like this really
lot
good
of
monologue
puking.
at the end, and like when I was a kid seeing it, I was like, man, that's really impactful. And then like even recently playing, I was like, man, I'm still tearing up about this.
I want to base my entire life after Shadow.
Yeah,
I will become the next speedster named Shadow.
they should make some cool like shadow shoes or something. But anyways,
Yeah.
I always like the idea of a sacrifice as well.
Oh, definitely. Like, in spoilers for Deadpool and Wolverine, that scene, I won't lie, I got misty-eyed when you see Deadpool, which really bugs me when he locks Wolverine out of the room and Wolverine's trying to punch the door down. I'm like, dude, use your flipping claws, man. Cut through. Why are you trying to knock it down when you can cut through like butter?
Right.
But they did it just for the storytelling. I get it.
Mm-hmm.
But the moment when they're doing the Madonna like a prayer and it's the chorus version, you're hearing it and they do the zoom up
yeah,
where they're holding on to that and you hear like Deadpool goes, I want to see Vanessa one last time. Like as a guy, like when you actually are in love, you feel that like, oh, I get that. But the one that really got me choked up is when Wolverine said, I'm actually proud to wear this suit. Dude, I had to like bite my lip because Wolverine's my favorite character. I've waited over 20 years to see the man be in his original suit without the sleeves. Happy about that. That is getting really bright though. My goodness. The window. So I'll have to kind of tone down my skin color later. But actually I'm gonna do this. See if that helps me out. Nope, that does not. Wait, does it? Nope, doesn't.
sunshine.
But that scene where they're panning out and they think they're gonna die, but yet they're willing to sacrifice themselves.
Yeah.
I love that. Like
Mhm.
Armageddon. You've seen that movie, right?
It's been a minute.
Liv Tyler, Steve Buscemi, Bruce Willis, and Ben Affleck. The asteroid's gonna destroy Earth. Oh, and Billy Bob Thornton. And
Colorful cast.
they have to go. Spoilers for a movie that's almost 20 years old. They have to draw straws and who's gonna like. There's a big asteroid heading toward Earth, and I don't remember how they lost all the astronauts. Oh, Owen Wilson's also in it too. Wow, they had a lot of
Wow.
Michael Duncan.
That's a big
Wow,
asteroid.
wow, wow, that's a big ship. Wow, wow. Oh, he dies in the movie.
Wow, I'm dying. Wow.
Wow, I see a white light. Wow. But they have to go up in outer space and blow up this asteroid that's heading toward Earth. So that's draw straws, and Ben Affleck's character draws a short straw. So
I think there's a video game about this.
they made a video game about this.
Yeah, asteroids.
Oh, that's terrible. But he goes out and he thinks that he's going to sacrifice himself to set off the bomb to save everyone's life. And then Bruce Willis comes out, goes, no, throws him back in the ship because Bruce Willis has a daughter back on Earth who's dating Ben Affleck's character. And so he goes, you take care of my little girl. And then they get off the rock and Bruce Willis, this moment, if he sees his entire life flash before his eyes, and this last moment he sees his little girl on a swing set
Right.
and he blows it up. Like, dude,
Yeah.
as a
That choked
guy,
me up, too.
like you as a parent probably would get more choked up than I would, but like
Yeah.
as a guy, like weird to say, like, do you ever think about that? Like, I want a death worth having.
Right.
Like,
yeah.
I want to go out not in my bed. I'd rather die saving someone. I'd rather
Right.
die like actually having impact. That's a weird tangent I've always had.
No, yeah, I know.
Boy, that is bright. Can you move that over a little bit, you think? There, I'll do
Better?
for now. That's will help a little bit. I'll have to put a sheet over that or something.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, no, so I think, good old sacrifice towards the end of the story would be cool.
so, but Oh,
I guess we have to figure out the main motivation of the storyline, or like,
well, each character have their own, but really where the story comes from is the main motivation of the villain.
I suppose, yeah.
Because look at Star Wars, look at Lord of the Rings, look at Harry Potter. Without those characters had that main motivation, the heroes don't have a motivation to stop that villain.
Mm-hmm. It's
So,
always about the villain.
It really is. It's building that villain. So you'd say we want to have him human. We want to have him betray them in the end.
Yeah.
He would probably be from Ohio areas where I'm
Oh,
guessing.
definitely.
Yeah, gross.
Where all villains come
Yeah,
from.
it's disgusting.
Voldemort.
Darth Vader.
Yeah. Definitely from Ohio.
The blue meanie. But because I kind of see him as more of a charmer. He's charming.
Yeah.
Like if you've seen Dungeons and Dragons, the movie Honor Among Thieves.
Oh, Hugh Grant's
Yeah, Hugh
character.
Grant's character. He's charming. Well, first of all, it's Hugh Grant.
Yeah.
There's a hamster inside of him somewhere. I think that's him, right? He's got the hamster
I
story.
think
Like
so,
it's
yeah.
either Pierce Brosnan. One. They're both all British guys are the same to me. But what would his powers be? Because I would say for him, he needs to have powers.
Yeah. I think, yeah, so maybe the rift grants him powers, but maybe every time he uses his powers, it kind of kills him a little bit.
I do like that idea. I was gonna say maybe disfigures him.
And so, like, maybe Skyen stumbles upon him.
My beard got caught in the,
Yeah,
the
I said that
mic.
too. It's like, yeah. Maybe Skyen stumbles upon him on the, I don't know, mainland or whatever we want to call Earth's surface. And like he wants to save, like convinces him to take him back to the place, the vampire city, to save him. And
Maybe he's there and he gathers information.
yeah, and brings the rest of the government or something.
Maybe he is a result of why this collision has happened. Or maybe he was an archaeologist who discovered this world, but he became obsessed with it. Like what this fantasy world and our world didn't meet yet, but he became so obsessed with it that he was willing to, like, maybe fitting into your character, like the old, like maybe this happened a millennia ago when the Earth and this fantasy world collided. Maybe he was a famous what's that physicist's name? He was Neil deGrasse Tyson. Yes. Every time I hear it, because he's got the last name Tyson, I was thinking Mike Tyson. So I always picture like Neil deGrasse Tyson as a boxer because of his last name.
Right.
But he's in the ring with Mike Tyson. Like, so did you hear about this theory? Wait.
I'm an astrophysicist.
He's still got his. I'm an astrophysicist. I wouldn't want to get that out there because I don't want to take off Mike Tyson. First of all, best boxer ever. Now I will die on that hill.
Yeah.
I will die on that hill.
I just saw something recently. I think it's from a few years ago, but have you seen the Christmas thing where he gives Evander Holyfield his ear back?
Oh, yeah. They have a chocolate company or something like that, or a gummy company where it's called Nothing But Ears or something like that. But it's in shape of Evander Holyfield's ear.
Okay, maybe that's what it was for, because he was like, it definitely tastes like your ear. And Evander Holyfield's like, no, it doesn't. He's like, I would know.
Apparently they're good friends now.
Yeah.
That was huge when that happened. But maybe, like, that's the thing. Like, he was a very famous physicist of some kind, and he stumbles across these archaeological, these ancient texts of, like, maybe Cthulhu style, and he gets so obsessed with it. And in the world, he caused this.
He intentionally did it.
He did it on purpose. But now he wants to gain all the power from, like, this ancient god.
Yeah.
And so he plays nice, but he's super, super old because of this.
Right.
Like maybe this has gone on for a long time.
Sure.
And he looked maybe he looks old, but like the Dracula effect, like he starts to become more youthful.
Well, maybe that's why he wants to contact the vampires then too,
Ah,
because they could theoretically
grant
give
him some immortality to some degree.
Yeah, or maybe he wants to take over the other side of the rift, the one that's doing good. Like, I think you had talked about that.
No, you mentioned it.
Well, you said something about a multiverse, like the other side of the where maybe potentially Bishop came from.
Oh, the like the fantasy realm.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, maybe he wants to be there,
Yeah.
but he has to destroy maybe Earth in the process of getting there.
Yeah. Or he needs to harness the power from the ocean
Well, yeah.
underwater city.
So this underwater city, where would this come from then? Maybe these people, because I had an idea of this. Maybe it's just New York City, that these Merfolk folk they were from a different world, but when they were sucked into our world, maybe New York just basically got flooded,
Right.
and they took over New York City as their new home. So they're swimming around in the city. Like, do you picture like are they walking? Are they swimming?
I was thinking, yeah, kind of walk like it's a kind of like a biodome
Okay.
surrounding, but maybe that it's being powered by their volcanic generators or whatever you want to call them. And if this dude, the evil dude, harnesses the power or takes the power from that city, it will stop the biodome from being able to work correctly, and it'll kill the city. But he doesn't care because he wants to get to the other side of the magical rift, maybe.
Yeah, that could be a first arc of the story. Like, our team gets together. They meet in a tavern, and like the deer folk, maybe your magnet dude, Bishop, and I would say for my British superhero, I don't know what to do with him, but I do like the idea of, since this world's more like fantasy built, like maybe he's just a knight.
Okay, like a paladin or something.
Yeah, but he's still like super strong and whatnot. Maybe not like Superman levels, but like I still like the idea of the armor protect him. Like the armor still like is his skin, but he controls it like a venom, like a symbiote.
Right.
Like it covers his face, but then he can show his real face. But I still like the idea of like Terry McGinnis Batman mask. Like he can talk. You see his mouth talking and whatnot. But yeah, like the mask is like
Stop.
it's so weird. I'd show an image of it, but I like the idea. Like maybe he is the knight of the group, and his power is this weird sentient armor that was passed down through his lineage of his kingdom that he comes from, probably stationed in London. But he has to go on a journey and a voyage to become the knight. He needs to make a name for himself before he comes back home. Part of his culture and his heritage. Like, this is what you do in order to become the knight or the big baddie of this realm. You have to go out and wander the land and become a legend to the people, not just here but out there. So when you come back home, you're
Right.
worthy of becoming like a king.
Sure.
So
yeah, that'd be cool.
we have like Magnet Dude, Skyn, Knight Dude, Bishop.
And
I like deer folk. I like at least having one deer person.
yeah,
in the
have
group.
kind of a
Like your druid type character.
yeah, it'd be cool. And evil dude initially,
Yeah.
and he can
He convinces Sky to go back home, and then that's when the first arc happens where they discover like maybe there should be another character that they have that he kills that character. Like I do like it when a character dies, they stay dead.
right.
Like Marvel, because yeah, killed Wolverine. Oh, look, he's back in. Oh, you killed Nightcrawler. Oh, he's back. Oh, Spider-Man. Oh, he's back. It really ruins the effect of when a character dies. When they die, they keep coming back.
Right.
It really takes away like the actual sacrifice or the
Like
the pain. Like, oh,
serious.
yeah, the seriousness of it.
Yeah. Well, I think you could do something cool with maybe have like the deer folk discover is kind of like unintentionally stumbles upon this guy being deceitful, and he maybe kills him or disposes of them, but frames it as like, oh, it was an accident or something, or I don't know.
Wouldn't you want to see it like directly happen? Like he's trying to expose him, and he just like full on takes him out in front of the
Yeah.
group, and then they say,
Yeah.
"Oh, he's not on our side."
Oh, yeah. I don't know. I kind of like the keeping it on like it's almost discovered, but you just kind of like tease it a little bit.
Oh, so like you get the pain, like we the audience know, like he's a bad guy.
Yeah.
He knows he's a bad guy, but he's now dead. But the rest of the group thinks, oh, like even better. He says the mer people did it. The vampires did it.
Right, and that gives them.
And so they start attacking
Justification,
the
sure.
vampire people, thinking that, oh, we're fine. They killed our friend. We have to seek vengeance. And then he uses them as a distraction to take what he needs.
Right. So, yeah. No, I like that. I'm totally gonna forget all this.
Well, that's why we're recording it.
Yeah.
You have to go back and watch the episode or re-listen to it. Yeah, what time are we at?
We're at 51 minutes.
Oh, let's wrap it up.
Yeah. Well,
I mean,
thanks for diving into the minds of madness with us.
and wasting your time with us. I mean, that's it. We're done.
Toodaloo.
Yeah, done some guts.